Welcome to Boostfad Academy Computer Tutorial Series. This is tutorial number 18, where we'll be discussing about fonts. That is the font style, the font size, and the font color. Let's go back to our Microsoft Word. So, fonts. In a literal term, the texts is what refers to as font in computer. All these texts, we call them font. So we can change their style. So as you are looking at it, let's look at this side. Look at the toolbar. You can see Calibri. It means the style that is appeared on the screen is in Calibri form. So we can change the style. We can change the size of this font, so to make it big or small, or to reduce it smaller. At the same time, we can also change the color from this black to other color. So how do we do that? Let's start from the font style. So how do we change the style of the font? The first thing is to highlight. Let's say, for example, we want to change the heading. We want to change the whole document to Times New Roman. There are different font style, but one of the most common one is Times New Roman. So we have Arial Black. So like the one, the font style that appear on the screen will be the one that you will see on the toolbar. Like this one, this is Calibri, which means this font style is Calibri. If I want to change it, the first thing to do is to highlight. Let me highlight all. If you remember, to highlight all the text, you use Control A. I press down the Control, then I press A. You see it highlighted everything. Then you go to your font style. You can see that small arrow. If you click on it, it will bring all the fonts. In Microsoft Word, if you are moving the mouse pointer through them, the font will be changing. You see it changed. It's changing till I get to Times New Roman. So you can use any of the fonts. You can try them out after this tutorial. But for this tutorial, I'm using Times New Roman. So as I selected the Times New Roman, everything changed to Times New Roman. Now the heading, I want to change this heading. I want to change it to another font style, the Algerian. Let me pick the Algerian. Algerian font style doesn't have a small letter, so if everything you type is in small letter, it will change them to capital letter. So when you get there, you just click on whichever font style you wish to use. So that is Algerian. That's what we call font style, and how to change the font style. Now font size, you can increase the size, you can reduce the size. By default, the font size we have here is 12. Look at here. This is where you know your font size under the toolbar. You can see after the font style, the number you see 12. That's where you have the font size. You can change the font size as well. Just like I said, the first thing to do is to highlight the text that you want to change the size. So, for example, I want to change the size from 12 to 14. Those are the two most commonly used font size. When you are working on Microsoft Word, it's either you use 12 or 14. If you want to make it at least to be big enough for people to be able to see, you can use 14. So the first thing to do is to highlight by pressing down the Control, then A. I've highlighted everything using Control A. Then I will go to font size. Then you click on that small arrow, it will bring the size. So you can select the size that you want. You can say 14, 16, 22, 48 down. So it continues like that. So I'm changing it to 14. So I selected 14. So which means presently now I have size 14. Like the heading, the size of the heading can be big, can be larger than the body. So I can increase this one to like maybe 16. So like I said, the first thing you do, you highlight. Press down the shift, then the down arrow button. So I've highlighted, so I can increase the size to 16. Then you select 16. So that is how to increase the font of texts. So there is shortcut for doing that. So the shortcut is that you highlight, then you use Control Shift greater than or less than. That is, you press down the control button, you press down Shift, you press the two of them down, then you now start pressing greater than or less than. If you are pressing greater than, the font size will be increasing. If you are pressing less than, the font size will be decreasing. So let's look at that. You can see that's greater than is increasing. So if I use less than, it will be decreasing. So that is the shortcut. That's the command. Instead of you to start going to the toolbar and be selecting the font size in order to increase it, you can use Control Shift greater than or less than to increase or reduce the font size. Now font color. So you can change the color of your text by highlighting. After you highlight, look at this A at the toolbar. You can see the color under it. That is where you have the font color. You click on the arrow, it will bring all the colors. So you can select any of the colors. So let me change it to red. You can see I've selected red. The heading changed to red. That is how to add color to text. So Microsoft Word, like the word Microsoft Word, I want to change the color. You highlight, like we said. So using your Shift and arrow, or you use your mouse, you click and drag, it will highlight. You go to color, you select yellow. No, that's too. So let's select a deep color like purple. You can see it changed the color. That's how to change the font style, the font size, and the font color. You highlight the text, like I said, you go to font style, you change the style to any of the style that you want. So area or area black. So you can change the size by clicking on the font size under the toolbar. So you can select any of the size that you like. Alternatively, I said you can use Control Shift greater than or less than. That is, you press down the control, you press down the shift, then you start pressing the greater sign to increase it, or the less than sign to reduce the font size. And lastly, I said you can change the font color by clicking on the font color icon under the toolbar. It will bring all the colors, so you can select any color that you like from there. So that is how to change the font style, the font size, and the font color. So that is all about this tutorial. So in the next tutorial, I will be discussing about justification. That is the left justification, right justification, centralized, and even the perfect justification. That is all I will be discussing in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share it with others. Until the next lesson, that will be later said. Bye for now.